I'm trying to get some things set up here, guys. Y'all just hang in there. My Roku ain't wanting to work. How y'all doing in there tonight? See somebody's. I'm trying to get a monitor up here going. Y'all just hang in there. I'll be right back. Well, I'm here, but I still can't get it working. I don't know what's going on. What y'all doing in there tonight? This Roku worked the other day, now it won't. Let me try another remote. I'll be right back. I don't know why it won't come on. Maybe it is on. Maybe I'm on the wrong channel. I don't know. Let me find out. I don't know. Anybody ever dealt with Roku that don't want to work? How y'all doing? It was on a while ago, but it locked up. So I unplugged it and I plugged it back up. And now it won't come on at all. Well, I guess I could take this live out to my shop. I was trying to stay in here because it's raining outside. And it's loud in that shop when it's raining. So, anyway, I barely can see the small writing here. But y'all doing all right tonight? I put 2 new batteries in this thing. Arkansas Rose, howdy. I can't make my Roku work. I don't know what's going on. It won't even come on. It was on, and I tried hitting. It locked up on me, and then it was. I was trying different remotes. I might could go in there, I guess, but it's aggravating. That's the remote for in there. Trying to make this work. Can't get it to come on. I don't know how you make it come on. Let's do this one more time. It's like it discombobulated it. I don't know. I'm lost when it comes to electronics, y'all. If it don't work, I don't know how to make it work. Hey, it's coming on. I'll show you. Coming on. I've got it on. It's the Roku was coming on.
What?
I've got it right here.
Oh, it's working?
Not support non.
This one.
It was. I had to unplug it and reboot it.
So it's working.
Is that another one?
I don't know. That's why I was just asking.
Let me see here. It's got brand new batteries in it and it still don't work. That's what I'm saying. This don't have batteries in it.
Well, that was just in the floor. I don't know.
We'll try this one. For whatever reason. I got that battery upside down. That could make a difference. There we go. Got it working.
Hopefully. It's
working right now. Here. Oh, this will do right there. Got 13 folks in there. How y'all doing? Let me get you over here to my channel where I can actually see the comments because the lettering's so small down here. Jack. Hi, buddy. We don't do foul language and dirty stuff on here. All right, I'm back. Live stream now with the chat. Where all y'all from tonight? Let me get this going here. Well, there we go. He's from space. I see that. I got all kind of people messaging me. Well, glad y'all in here. I'm from Earth. Yeah, it looks like it, but that's all right. They're watching. Yep. Watch hours. That's all that matters. Trying to get my watch hours up. Problem is it's hard to keep watch hours. Watch hours goes up and down, up and down. See 18 people in there. If y'all don't mind, hit that thumbs up button. That's just right over there, right down there somewhere. Just hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. Maybe it's on that side. I'm backwards. My camera's backwards. Get out of the chair. No, I'm not going to get out of the chair. You'd see my knees. What you doing, girl? See, there's my knees. Yeah, I know where Arkansas Rose is from. I know where that Cheyenne Bell's from, too. I see you're checking on me. Somebody's got to check on me. Hit that thumbs up button down there if y'all don't mind. I probably did. You never know. What y'all got going? Anything other than my niece checking in on me? I got a cat coming in here checking on me. What you doing? What you doing? He'll be wanting to get in my lap here in a minute. No, I'm not going to do no dance. Knocking stuff down, just like a cat. No. Yeah, probably. And extra tall doors too. No, we ain't gonna dance. Ain't no dancing going on. Ain't gonna be no dancing. Let me change this up a little bit. Think what you want to, Mason. I don't care. At least you're watching. Love you too, girl. What are y'all doing tonight? Anybody? I see 3 people in here now. I guess none of my car guys are in here. Let me get this door shut. Yep, well, we just sitting around, not really doing much, nothing. I usually have a lot of my car guys jump in here, but a lot of new folks jumping in here tonight, which is fine. I usually work out in my shop on Monday nights, but it's raining and that shop's got a tin roof on it and it's so loud it's hard to hard to hear anything out there. I'm working on several new designs on t-shirts. As you can see, I got one of the old ones here. Ain't too many people like yet, which I don't care. But I plan on trying to get my new designs out here before long. And my favorite car is a 55 Chevy, 2-door or 4-door. I don't care. I'll take a wagon either. That doesn't matter. As long as it's a 55 Chevy car. That's my favorite car. So I've never had one, but that's my favorite anyway. What's yours? Y'all make sure you hit that thumbs up button while you're in here. You may not like it, but that's all right. It don't cost you nothing. It's pretty cheap to watch my channel. Got any car guys out there? Got anybody out there? No, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Nobody's really chatting on here, so I think all my car guys probably jumped over on one of the other channels. They probably started a live. I don't know. I got in here just a few minutes late tonight, so. But we in here. Out of the brain. That's all right. Working on getting me a setup in here. I got my mic and I got my interface and a lot of electronics and stuff, but I still got to get a laptop. I got to get that in here. Start working on that. Where I can start doing some podcast type things. But Dodge Viper, those are pretty cool. They were pretty strong, pretty fast. V10 engines in them. And I know a guy that has I call it a Viper truck, but it's a Dodge SRT 10, and it's a short bed. He's had it for a long time, and it's a pretty fast little truck. He keeps it pretty nice. He hadn't messed with it too much. He put a nice set of wheels on it, and that's about it. It's still pretty stock. But I plan on trying to get my old 75 Chevy truck going again. Make it more streetable. It's a 75 Chevy C10. Got a big block in it, 402. With, right now it's got a 9-inch Ford rear end under it. But I plan on putting I've got a Chevy rear end going to go back under it. So just picked that up the other night. John Wick Mustang. Yeah, I'd take that too. That Chevelle he had, I'd take that too. He trashed those on that show. Wish John Wick would have showed up in that boxing ring the other night. Hey there, Mike Jones, NC Matt. Good to have you in here. Appreciate y'all jumping in. We just kind of just sitting around in here, not doing a whole lot. It's been raining outside. I would be out in the shop, but it's loud out there with all the rain. So I come in here in our spare bedroom, set up where the got a spare TV sitting in here, so I can have it for a monitor because I'm having to work off my phone. I don't have a laptop set up yet. Yeah, it was it's pretty fun though. V10 in a truck is pretty wild. What kind of garage work do I do? So you paint cars? Well, I used to do a little body work, but we're talking 30 years ago, so 20 years ago at least. But right now, when I'm in my shop, we do a little bit of race car work. We got some stock cars. We piddle around on this and that and whatnot. We're not super serious about it, but I've got the shop plumb full of stock cars. So I got a Camaro in there and two modified chassis. We got one modified chassis we're trying to get together, and the other one's just sitting there. It needs a little bit of framework, so it might go back outside. Yep. But that's what we do. I've got an old '85 Ford Dually that I got from my aunt. It was my uncle's truck. When he passed away, I wound up getting that truck, and '85 Ford Dually. Uh, it needs redone, so I've thought about redoing it and just putting a paint job on it, uh, just a just like it was factory, just acrylic enamel. Um, I would do base coat, clear coat, but that stuff's too expensive. I'm a poor boy, can't afford that, and it's pretty rough. So I'd have to. I got to do a lot of work on it. So it's I've thought about getting it in the shop, start on that here before long. So we'll see. It needs a lot more than just a paint job. It needs a motor, a lot of gaskets put on it. It still runs great, but when I do that, I want to do some upgrades to it as far as the timing chain. I want to put a better timing chain in it because it's got the old uh, timing retarded on the camshaft on the old 460. If anybody knows anything about the Ford 460s, that's what they did to beat the emissions for them big block trucks back in the day. They'd retard the cam, kill the timing, or kill the power, and so I'm gonna put a timing chain in there that's straight up out like a 68, 69 model, 70, something like that, and that puts my timing straight back up on zero. And I even thought about advancing it 2 degrees, and I may even do that. I don't know, but put a better timing chain in it, do all the gaskets, and thought about even seeing about a set of headers, something to try to help the fuel mileage on it just a little bit. It's terrible. Anybody knows a big block in a dually, you're not going to get any fuel mileage, but it is horrible. Probably, I drove it about 25 miles the other night and almost burned a half tank of gas. I can't do that. That's terrible. Running an Edelbrock 600 on it, so I thought about pulling it apart and redoing it. So I don't know. It's just terrible on gas. Y'all hit that thumbs up button if you're in there. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's running about 8 miles a gallon, I'm sure. If that's on the freeway, I run it on the freeway, headed down there, and um, it was terrible, absolutely terrible. But running 2 lane, running 55 mile an hour, it actually gets a lot better fuel mileage. It probably gets 10 or 12, but but when you're on that freeway running 75 mile an hour, you can almost watch that fuel gauge just creep back. It's horrible. I've even thought about pulling that motor out and putting a late model fuel injected engine in it and overdrive transmission and all that. I know I'd be better off with a better economical motor in there. That would be so much better. Plus, a good 5 or 6 speed automatic transmission in it. Big 4L80E is what I'm looking for. We'll maybe go with yeah, it's a 4 speed truck with I think it's 350 gears in the rear, and we're probably turning about 2,500 RPM at 75 mile an hour. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, my 75 Chevy I've got, it's a big block short bed truck. Um, it's got 389 gears in it, and I'm running turbo 350 transmission. It'll at 55 mile an hour, I'm turning 3,000, and that's just too much. So I'm changing the rear end out in it. So hopefully make it a little better to drive. But that dually, I'm really wanting to do something different with it. I like a 460 because of the power, but I just don't like the fuel mileage. It's absolutely horrible. So we may, if I can find the right deal on a good 4L80E transmission and motor, maybe a real good 5.3 would be fine. It'd have more power than the 460 as anyway, fuel economy and all that. And I've pulled plenty of trailers with a truck with a 5.3 in it. So, but anyhow, it I know people get mad at me for going Chevrolet engine in a Ford truck, but that doesn't really matter. My truck. People's done it for years. It's just a motor. I'd go Coyote in it, but I don't. They don't have enough pulling power. So they're a lot. They're fast wrapping and real quick, but I've had one. I used one time in a truck, and it was I hooked to a trailer with a. It was a F-150. I drove it as a work truck, place I work, and I hooked onto a little small dump trailer that we got up there, and had a little gravel in it, and it was all it wanted, and it was a 5.0 Coyote, and it just didn't. Now by itself, it would tear the road up, but pulling it was gutless. So, but my 5.3 that I had in my '05 Chevrolet, and I see you had a '03 Tahoe and a '05 Chevrolet. That my '05 had that 5.3. It'd pull anything I hooked to it, and just my truck was a little bit too light. I've got a 26-foot enclosed trailer that it was just too heavy with it and the race car and all the spare parts and everything in the front. It was just too heavy for my truck, and it made my truck unstable. And that's one reason why I was wanting to go with a heavier truck. And I'm still looking for something different, a little better. And but I'm I'm on the super tight budget, and I'm looking for the deals to where I can find me a 3/4 ton Chevy truck or something that needs a motor in it. I've got a 5.3 still out here on the engine stand, so I can. It wouldn't take too long to put that right off in it. So that's my. I like the little 5.3. There's a good little motors. Of course, if I had a 6.0, I'd do the same thing. 6.0's got it's basically a 5.3 that's bored out just a little bit. So maybe better heads. I don't know if it is or not. So it's not really that much different. I know a 5.7 I think is 20 thousandths overbore from a 5.3. So you're really not gaining that much. You're basically just cleaning your cylinders up with a 5.7 from a 5.3. You can bore a 5.3 out and make it a 5.7 real quick, and don't have to change that much. And then I've even seen guys, which I wouldn't recommend it until I seen it for my own self, but I've seen guys take 5.3 blocks and bore them out to a 6.0, and I said that looks to me like the cylinder walls would be paper thin. So I just don't know how that would hold up. Watched one guy here on YouTube do that. He bored it and built it and put it on the engine stand and started it, but he said that was the engine, but I don't know if it was or not. You know how YouTube is. People can say one thing, but who knows if they're telling the truth or not. You know, you can edit videos, make them into what you want. But I think that old 85 Ford Dually do real good with a 5.3 in it. I've heard a lot of people try to say that the 5.3 was a glorified Windsor engine anyway, but I don't know. I mean, I know. Hey, Roland, how's it going? Good to see you in here. But I don't know. I know some guys that put five LS heads. I should say that LS heads on 351 Windsor engines, and they built intakes and done stuff like that. I know Tall Garage has took two 5.3 heads and cut them in two and welded them back together and got them made a 6-cylinder head and got them on a 6-cylinder. Yeah, a drag car would be fun. I did a little drag racing with that old 75. I ain't. It's a slow truck, so I quit messing with it. I ain't got the money to try to put that thing down the road. Yeah, I know LS heads flow really good, really good. And if I had the money, I've got a Windsor block out there. I've got a 302 out there. If I had the money, I would put them heads. I've got an extra set of 5.3 heads. I'd mount them 5.3 heads on that 302 Ford block and build a screamer little motor right there. But you got to build your intake and all of that. So, and I'm a carburetor kind of guy, so I like carburetors. How's that car coming there, Roland?
I got you, Wes.
Yeah, cat's right here. Yeah, they say that Godzilla motor is like a great big LS motor. I wouldn't doubt it. I ain't never seen one myself, but I've seen Cletus McFarland get one or two out there, but he's a big time YouTuber. I can't do what he does. All I can do is watch his channel. I can't afford his kind of material. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. I've been busy too, and trying to get a few things done here and there. It's just one thing after another. Yeah, Cletus, he's I guess you could say quintessential YouTuber for the car guy because he's doing everything we desire to do. A lot of rock bouncers are doing Ford Zilmar. I didn't know that. I figured they could. I mean, I don't know what them things cost. Uh, of course, you have a motor built. It's to get a real good one. Uh, you're going to spend a ton of money to build a real good motor. But if you figure in a crate, one of those crate motors, you're probably looking at about the same money, if not a little less. So, uh, but I don't know. If somebody sponsored me one of them Godzilla motors, I'd probably drop it in my 85 Ford truck. Put me a good heavy duty automatic transmission in behind it and just show how well that thing would tow. I'd take a sponsored motor. Take it right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be scared to tow anywhere with it then there, Roland. That 26-foot trailer we got, it probably wouldn't even know what was back there. Power glider automatic. Well, both of them's automatic, but uh, I like a power glide in some things, but not so much a street car. Um, I like a good overdrive transmission if I'm going to be driving it very far. But if I'm going to be racing it or something, a power glide would work out real well. What you got?
Coffee.
Okay, thank you.
No creamer.
That's fine. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Cup of coffee delivered to me. I got a good wife. She's pretty good. If y'all hadn't done it already, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate everybody jumping in here. We're just in here just chatting her out. What's y'all's favorite vehicle? Seen somebody say that a while ago. What was my favorite vehicle? I like 55 Chevy. I've seen a few on Marketplace, but man, them things are high. Found a 57 a while ago, 57 210. Needs motor and transmission. It's rough. It's as the old saying is, it's rough as a cob. But it's a 57 210, and they wanted 3,500 for it. And had a good title though. That title's worth quite a bit. So I've got motor and transmission slap right off in it. Yeah, I like 79 Trans Am as well. You know, when I was a little feller, that reminds me, I seen pictures of them on Facebook. You know how you see them memes. But when you said Trans Am, it reminded me when I was a kid, just a little feller. Somebody said, "What kind of rig you like?" I said, "I want a souped up, jacked up 4-wheel drive Trans Am." I didn't say Trans Am. I said Trans Am. That was, of course, I was a little feller. So I wanted a souped up, jacked up 4-wheel drive Trans Am. So, and that's what I always wanted. But I've seen a few on Facebook where people took pictures of them 4-wheel drive jacked up Trans Ams. 79 grand or 87. I mean 87 Grand National. Yeah, I really like those. Those are pretty cool. 79 Trans Ams and 87 Grand Nationals. There was a guy that used to run around here in town that had one of those. Man, that thing was fast. It's pretty too. Kept that thing spotless. A CUDA. Boy, that'd be nice. My phone keeps kicking off on me for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Hope y'all's not losing me. Let me check something here real quick. See if I've got, yeah, I've got internet service. So, for whatever reason, it just decides to kick off. But, yeah, I used to know a guy that had a Challenger. It was really nice. 79 or 72 Mustang on a K5 Blazer. Yeah. Yeah, I remember there was a guy that showed up in town one night. He had a 65 or 66 Mustang, may have been 64 and a half. You know how that same body style, it was on a four-wheel drive chassis. That thing was yellow. That was a slick rig. There's a man with a Grand National that a YouTuber down the road, John Dock, called Black Sheep. Yeah, pretty cool rig. I seen Vice Grip Garage, old Derek had got a Grand National not long ago, and I think he just did a clear paint job on that thing or something. I don't know what he ever done with it. I didn't get to see what else he done. Yeah, about 10 minutes from you. Are you talking about the man that had the Grand National, or are you talking about Derek Vice Grip? Okay, all right. Yeah, I did have a 75 Monte Carlo, 81 Camaro Z28, 93 GMC GT Sierra. Yep. I got a 75 Chevy C10 short bed right now. It's kind of a rust bucket, but it's a pretty cool old truck. It's got a 75 C10. I got it. Got a big block 402 in it with a TH350. Right now it's got a 9-inch in it, but I'm putting a regular Chevrolet truck rear end back in it. Oh, I understand that. Not all at the same time. If you like me, you poor boy, you just do what you can do. You have a 72 Monte Carlo on the farm. That's pretty cool. I had a 71 one time. It's been, I think I was 15 years old. Me and or my sister had it, and I wound up buying the car from her. And I don't know whatever happened about that deal. Uh, she was buying a truck from my dad, and then I don't know what happened. And the car just, I didn't have the car no more. I don't know what happened to it. But it was a blue 71 Monte Carlo, had a 350 in it. That was a pretty nice little old car. raced Cletus at Z-Max Dragway at Streetcar Takeout. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You ever heard of a guy by the name of Doc Baker? He's a big time racer that's right down the road from me. Lives about, I don't know, maybe 8-10 miles from here, over in the next town. We used to run around town a little bit. He used to have an old Studebaker. They called it Nothing But Trouble back in the day. He wound up putting a big Keith Black Hemi in it with a Lenco transmission, and that was a pretty fast little old truck. Old Studebaker. Well, yeah, that's what those are. This was my nephew's room. We had him here for a while, and he decided to stick a bunch of glowing stars on the ceiling. So that's what those are. You turn the light out and it goes to glowing in here. There used to be 2 beautiful Buick Regals at the tire shop. I don't know what happened to those cars either. Yeah, it never know. Now I have a 2012 Silverado 1500 6-inch suspension, nitrous shocks on 35s, rides like a Cadillac, one of a kind, custom front bumper. That's a pretty cool rig. I bet that's a nice ride right there. Yeah, I see you had those when you was young. Yeah, them glow in the dark stars and stuff. I don't know why we still got them up there. We just never thought about taking them down. Never really paid any attention to them until you mentioned them. Nothing like an old Buick. I've got an old 455 Oldsmobile engine. I had a 66 Oldsmobile. I was going to put that engine in, but the guy that has the head shop at BB, Arkansas, he saw it and really wanted it. He had a small block he wanted to put in it, small block Chevy, and so I sold the car to him. I still have the big block 455. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may put it on the engine stand and put it together one of these days. It's all in pieces right now, because when I got it, the crankshaft had somebody had spun a couple of rod bearings and probably overwound it more than likely. And I've got another crankshaft for it and had a couple of rods fixed for it. So it needs a camshaft. The camshaft was bad in it. Block needs washed real good and honed, and the heads, I've got them redone. They look brand new. It really needs a set of flat top pistons going in it, because it's got dish pistons like that. It's pitiful. I bet it ain't got 8-to-1 compression. So it's a 76 model 455. So you can imagine they killed the horsepower on the thing. So it really needs a set of better pistons in it, but that I ain't got the money to mess with it right now. Ain't no telling. No telling what it would cost for a set of pistons. I think, well, Speed Pro probably had me a set of pistons. So I don't know. You're in North Carolina. Yes, I'm in Arkansas. Central Arkansas, north central Arkansas, about 45 miles north of Little Rock, in a town called Searcy. I have run a derby car. It's been 30 years ago, I guess. But yeah, I did run some derby cars. I mainly ran dirt track stuff. Yeah, I could boost it, I guess. I'd throw some boost on it. That'd be a pretty wild rig. Have to really know your stuff on the oil and on the 455. You got to put some restrictors in the bottom of them. If not, you'll do the same thing as what's happened. It burnt the crankshaft out of it. So good to see you, Gerald R. from Texas. One from St. Louis. We got y'all in here from all over. Good to have y'all in here. Appreciate y'all jumping in. If y'all hadn't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit it. Hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate y'all quite a bit. We're working on getting some new t-shirts. This old shirt here is one I've had for a year or so. And I think I may have one or two left of it. It's just a kind of a first stage shirt. I didn't know what I'm doing. I was trying to get in cheap. But these old shirts are just a design I come up with, a gear and wrenches, and have my logo in the middle of it. But you go back and look at my community page, I have some pictures of some of my designs I'm coming up with for some new t-shirts. So no, there's I hadn't went hunting in quite a while. I hadn't had time to go hunting. It's been several years since I've been hunting up in here. A lot of my guys I work with do deer hunting. A lot of them's gotten some really nice bucks. One guy do some trading with on big block parts. I think he's got 2 or 3 so far. Yeah, I-30. It's a shame it got shut down, but I understand money talks. You know, when you're offered that kind of money, it's hard to turn it down. You know, even though it's a legacy down there and it's been there since the 60s, I guess. There was another track that was built. Many people may not know it, but there used to be another track at Benton. But when the interstate come through, it took part of the property, so they had to shut it down, and they built this one over here right off from the interstate, and it's been there ever since until a couple of years ago when it got sold. I think it got sold for $5.5 million, I think it was. So I would have sold it, you know, even though it was a money maker. But at the same time, you know, somebody offer you that kind of money, it's hard to turn it down, especially for a racetrack, and no more land than that was. So I know Copart is buying up a lot of racetracks. People want to know why Copart's buying racetracks. Well, it's because Copart has to have a land where those engines and cars are sitting, and those cars, when they get taken apart, the oil and antifreeze and stuff is going to hit the ground. Well, that contaminates the ground. Well, a racetrack, for it to be sold and turned into anything else, the dirt is condemned. So it's the best use for it would be a salvage yard. So that way they don't have to dig all the dirt out. If you have to dig that dirt out, you're digging down 5 feet. That's what I think is what they require, is dig down 5 feet, dig out all that soil out, and bring in new topsoil. That's crazy. Grew up at I-30 and BB Speedway. All my dad's friends' dirt track. Yep, that's where I grew up, at BB Speedway as well. I started racing at BB in 1990. So and that was the first place I made a lap at a racetrack. I went to El Paso Speedway before that and watched. I think I was 16 years old going to El Paso Speedway in 1989. And in 1990, I built my first, all through 89, I was building a car. But in '90, I finally got to go race. So, and I didn't race much. I raced every weekend I could, but it was in the mini stock class. You probably seen me down there. I've been to I-55 dirt track a few times in Jefferson County. I-55, is that up in? Yeah, that's in just north of or south of St. Louis at Peevely. Yeah, I've been there. It's been 25 years ago, but I've been to Peevely. Hey, good to see you in here, NC Matt. Come on back in here anytime you get. Every Monday night, I try to go live at 7 o'clock Central Time, so that'd be 8 o'clock your time there. So jump in here every chance you get. Appreciate you jumping in. But yeah, we was up there at Peevely in 1996, exactly the year I was there. Kenny Schrader was there racing with us in his Budweiser number 25 late model. M4. I see you there, MC Matt. But yeah, I forgot who it was there said that their dad knows everybody in Searcy. Um, what's his name, or first name at least? I might know him. If you're still in there. Terry, okay. I know a few Terrys. Um, uh, there's no telling. I don't know. I know a few Terrys, but I know a Terry Williams. I know of a Terry Rutherford. Uh, I've heard of Terry Childers. Uh, I know a Terry McGowan. Uh, Terry King. I know a bunch of people that's named Terry. But, anyway, I ran a number. Oh, I know Terry Price. Yeah, I know exactly who he is. He does gas station work. Works on gas pumps and stuff. Yeah, I ran a number 24 car back in the day, and Jerry's Fastback. Glad to have you in here. You live close to Eldora, Lawrenceburg, Bloomington, and several small dirt tracks and a few asphalt tracks. Yep, I've been to Eldora. I've been to Bloomington, Indiana, or maybe it's Iowa. I can't remember. I may have been to Lawrenceburg. I don't know. I've been all over the place up in there back when in 96, 97, 98, we traveled traveled all over the Midwest and all up in Ohio was about as high as we went on the northeast side, but we never went out to the Carolinas. We went to Georgia, Dixie Speedway, didn't go into Alabama. Wasn't any money races down there at the time. We had thought about going to Speed Weeks, but decided better because there was a better race in Roy City, Texas at the time that Speed Weeks was going on. We wanted to make sure we was ready for that. It was paying better. So yep. Went to Eldora in 1996. I was running down pit road trying to get to Wayne. He was sitting at the end of the pit road waiting to go out, and I jumped and missed and broke a bone in my foot and landed on my foot wrong, broke a bone in it. Hey, appreciate you in here. Jump in here every chance you get. We appreciate you. We're trying to be here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, Jim, yeah, about what year was it when you come up here and visited Batesville? I went up there a couple times this year. I didn't go to the races much this year because we had so much things we had to upgrade around the house. Had electrical problems, had plumbing problems, and the AC went out, and first one thing and another. It was terrible this year at the house. It took all the fun out of trying to go to the races. So I just put the racing on the back burner and decided we would just sit back and not worry about racing. Try to get everything that we needed back in shape, like our electrical. It was terrible. We still got work to do on it, on the electrical, but at least it's working again. We're going to have to come in and redo the house. Got to rewire the house. This house was wired built in 1967. So it really needs redone. I mean, it's in bad shape as far as wiring goes. So, but how you been doing, Jim? Appreciate you jumping in here. If I'm ever out your way, I'll definitely give you a shout. If you hadn't done it already, look me up on can't think of, I was reading the comments. Turtle Ridge Homestead did get a deer this year. It's like they all turned up missing. Yep. Jim, 2008 went by and visited. Okay. Yeah, Mark Martin's, that was pretty cool. You know, believe it or not, I've never went into his place up there, and I just live about 35 miles from there. And it's amazing. I've seen most of his stuff anyway. I know one of the dealers up there at his dealership. And you know, Lance Landers owns the Mark Martin Ford. Everybody thinks Mark Martin owns it, but he's half owners with Lance Landers, and Lance Landers is who owns Jonathan Davenport's car. So the number 49 late model, and that's you know, if you remember late model racing from back a few years ago, Jared Landers, that's Jared's dad is Lance. Lance is one of the family of Landers that always owned a lot of car dealerships in Arkansas. In Little Rock, there's Steve Landers. He's had dealerships. That's Lance's brother. So he's had a lot of TV commercials and stuff. Steve had some bad, his son had some bad health. I think one of his sons passed away. That's a bad deal. So 2008. Yeah, I was from about 2001 or 2. I had basically there you go. Yeah, you come on down and visit the Real Outfits Garage. You'll be leaving here an outfit. I can promise you that. But around 2001, 2, 3, somewhere in there, I got out of racing. Well, I think 2001 was last year I raced. 2, 3, somewhere in there. I raced another car a little bit, but I got out of racing and raised a family, and youngest boy got up big enough to race. We started trying to put a car together with him. So we've got another race car, or 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know how many we got out there, but if you count them all, we've got 4.5 race cars outside. No, 5. I'm sorry, we got 5.5. So we're race car poor, but 2 of them's raceable. The other 2 needs lots of work, and then the other one is just a chassis, just pieces of a chassis. We got that. Y'all probably seen them out in the shop. But yeah, that fastback you did there, Jim, that was some sketchy work to me. That'd be too far for me to try to tackle. But I do have a 65 at my other place, my old place where I grew up. I've thought very seriously about going and getting it and bringing it out here, putting it on jack stands, and slowly put it together. I've got a 302 that needs to be built, and I'm wanting to build it and put it off in that car. But I've got to get that Mustang here first. It needs everything. Needs everything. It don't have fenders. It don't have hood. It don't have grill. It don't have most all the front suspension's gone. It's just a hull, basically. It does have rear springs and a rear housing, but I would pull that out and I'd build a 9-inch put in it. Build that 302, probably put a C4 in it or an AOD. If I can find an AOD, that'd be better. Slide that off in it. Have an overdrive transmission, be a lot better cruising. So, just some things I thought about. Who all's in there now? I see I've got a few people in there, but not very many. Most everybody's left me. Anybody still in there? Arm's getting a little sore. I got in some ants. Ants or something, and it's got some swelling going on, and it just don't feel good. I don't know if you can see it. Probably looks a little red and swollen right there. Right in there. Yeah, that's pretty sore. Yep. I think it'd be a long-term project bringing that old 65 Mustang back on the road, but I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was trying to get the jack stands and stuff underneath my old 75 C10 sitting out front of my shop on the little concrete pad out there, and I got down on my elbow trying to look under the truck, run my jack up, and I didn't feel anything bite, but when I got up, it was itching. So I had bites from here all the way up to here, and you can probably see the bites. I mean, they're all over. See them little spots on my arm. I got them up in here and right in there. Yeah, it's a little sore. Yeah, it needs some work. It's 65, but like I say, it's rough. It would be it's a basket case, but that's all I've got. I could probably I could probably hunt around and get me one for. I've seen some online for 2, 3 thousand. That was actually rolling. So I would probably be better off going that route than trying to build this one. The only reason I do this one is because I've got it, and I could buy a door here, a door there, fender here, fender there. Uh, you know, nickel and dime it back together, but it'd take years to do. So that's all I've got is time. I don't have no money. Yeah, a grill. Yeah, this one this one had fenders on the front, but they were so rough and beat up. I should have kept them, but I took them off. They'd been shot at. I mean, somebody used it for target practice, and it wasn't as bad as Pole Barn Garage's GTO, but it'd been shot at. It was terrible, but it does have the glass in it. All the front and back glass is good. The quarter glasses are good. So I mean, that's one thing. Wouldn't have to worry about. But it's just a project, you know. My wife has always wanted a '66 Mustang. She wants it. She called it Candy Apple Red, and I said, "Well, we'll get it red. I don't know about Candy Apple." So, but we could put that 302 in it, put a nice little Holly 4 barrel on it, and get that thing rolling. I think it'd be kind of fun. There's all the front suspensions on Marketplace up here. I think it was pretty cheap. Lower A arms, upper A arms. I think it had spindles. I can't remember what all was in it. There was some stuff. I think it's $50 for all of that. So I would need that unless I go get all that off of another car. Probably a Maverick. I think a Maverick's the same, isn't it? There's plenty of those cars sitting in the salvage yard. I could get probably a rear end out of one of those. I don't care if it's an 8 inch. I've got an 8 inch. It's got an 8 inch housing, and it's got one axle in it. And I've got an 8 inch chunk out here ready to bolt in one of those 8 inch rear ends. So I might just go get an axle and a backing plate and hubs and put that rear end together. Since it's already in it, just clean it out real good. It's a thought. So that was a 5 lug car. It was actually a 289 4-speed car is what it was. Yes, the Maverick is perfect. That's what I thought. Uh, I probably, I'd probably just pull now Maverick, the later model, like had the disc brakes on the front. They wasn't. They were 5 lug, wasn't they? And that'd be what I'd want because the one axle in the car has a 5 lug axle. Um, I'm pretty sure they were 5 lug. I know the early ones were 4 lug, but find one that had the disc brake set up, get the spindles and all the front suspension off of it, and maybe even just pull the rear end out too. Just slide it off in there. I know there's a salvage yard over here that has all that. has all them pieces. Got me thinking. But I've got so many projects out here I don't know what to do with. I've got race cars I've got to get put together. I got an 85 Ford dually I need to put a clutch cylinder in. When I do that, I might as well have a Granada spindle and disc brakes on the fastback. Yeah, I figured it would all be the same because it's all basic front suspension. And Granadas are more prevalent in the salvage yard because there's more of them. You know, we use a lot of times we'll use Granada rotors on these race cars out here on the front because we use Pinto spindles on them. How you doing there, Shu Suk? I guess that's how you say your name, Shu Suk. My glasses are all messed up. But I like messing with them old Ford cars. I used to race a Maverick, believe it or not. Front ends didn't hold up real good in them. They just was too weak. You get turned sideways and the lower A-arm would fold up with you. So always keep that in mind if you want to do a little drifting in that Mustang. You might want to beef that front suspension up a little bit. Because that Maverick I had, the lower A-arm, it would just, about that far end from the inner part, it would just buckle. Yep. I've got a guy told me he would give me a steel crank for that 302. So I might holler at him, see about getting that. That way I can at least get the parts gathered up. It wouldn't take much to build that 302. So. Caliente project started. Hey, that'd be pretty nice. That 65 Mustang would be a nice YouTube channel content creator. Something to build content, I should say. I just need the funds to come along behind it to start doing the work on it. I hate to get something started and then quit it. That's my downfall on things. I get things started and then I run out of money, not able to finish it. So if I had Cletus McFarland money or Vice Grip Garage money, I could just keep building these cars and turning them out, but I don't have that kind of money. Found a 78, 79 Camaro Z28 the other day. Title, just needed a motor and transmission in it. They want $1,000 for it. I said that'd be perfect. I got a 327 out there that would go real good in it. So, but just another project. I ain't got the money to go. I gotta source my money for what I've got going and not what I want. So, but anyhow, that's part of it. Everybody goes through those problems, I guess. I think it stopped raining finally. We the shop doing her live, but it's my wife wants a mid-70s Camaro. Yeah, this would be a perfect one for that. It's $1,000. Had a title with it. It didn't look all that bad. It had the windows up on it. That was a big plus. It looked like it needed a tire on the back, a rear end, or something, because it didn't have a tire on the back end of the car. I remember seeing that. But it was, I think it was white. I don't know if, I can't remember if it's Z28 or not, but I thought he said Z28. But it was a decent looking car. But look me up on Outfits Garage Facebook page, and I'll try to send you a link to that. We may already be friends on Outfits Garage Facebook. I ain't for sure, but shoot me a message over there. How many's getting in line to try to win that 496 from Old Man Garage's video? A 700 and some odd horsepower street pump gas motor. I thought about trying to get in on that, try to win that thing, but I hadn't jumped on board yet. I think this is the last week to enter. It's on Old Man's Garage Facebook or YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm sure everybody knows who that is. He's got a brand new. I mean, everything's brand new. It's a 496 big block. Trick flow heads. I think it's a Dart big M or little big M block. Callie's crank, I think, or maybe it's I don't know what kind of. Anyway, it's all brand new. There wasn't nothing used in that motor. And special grind Isky cam. Roland from Isky's talking about putting a part number with that. What? Yeah. You need something? But that would be that's probably about a 10, 15, maybe $15,000, $18,000 motor. Maybe more than that, maybe a $20,000 motor. They got to sell a bunch of t-shirts. You gonna jump on out of here? Yeah, I'm fixing to. I've been on here hour and 25 minutes, so I appreciate you jumping in here. I'm probably gonna get around here myself and get cleaned up, get ready to go to bed. Go to work tomorrow. Try to make a living. Appreciate you jumping in here, Jim. Anyway, I'm going to jump off here. I see there's 5 more still in there, but if you hadn't hit that thumbs up button, make sure you hit that before you jump out. But I'm going to get around and get cleaned up, get ready to go to bed. My eyes are getting heavy. I'm not a night owl like I used to be. I used to stay up a lot later. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all jumping in here. I'm going to jump off here. God bless you guys. Y'all keep a hammering.